I am Stanley Herz. I have been in retained executive search for over 25 years, seeking out senior executives for needs of my clients. If I look familiar, perhaps it's because you saw my interview in ABC's 2020 or my profile in Business Week and in Inc. magazine. I want to talk about a contrarian approach to finding a position, contrarian because it breaks away from what most other people are doing. I am disturbed when people say that there are no jobs out there. Look at the inverse of this statistics. If the unemployment rate is 9.5% and the underemployment rate brings that to almost 20%, there is still 80% of the workforce in positions. Those individuals retire, they get fired, they get promoted, they die, or perhaps a company has decided it has the wrong type of people working for them to confront economic realities. All those situations mean that there is hiring going on. The real problem is not that there are no jobs, but rather there are too many people chasing a limited number of required needs. This changes the perspective from turning over rocks to look for openings to knowing how to beat out the competition to land a position to serve a need that is already there. I will suggest 4 steps that will improve your success ratio. There is, of course, no guarantee, but why not play the odds? First, don't concentrate on what everyone else is doing. Sending out resumes, reading job boards, mindless networking to the exclusion of what you should be doing is self-defeating. It gives the illusion of forward motion as you move backwards. Second, define your USP. Most of you realize that this refers to unique selling proposition, but most people often stop at platitudes in identifying their strengths. Of the 4 steps, this is perhaps the most difficult and the one which hinges the next 3 steps. The test as to whether you have identified a unique selling proposition is whether someone else could say the opposite. For example, if as a candidate for Vice President of Marketing, you say that my USP is the ability to successfully bring new product lines to market, would someone else say, I am unsuccessful in bringing new product lines to market? It's unlikely, since this is the essence of a job of most vice presidents of marketing. In other words, you have not identified a unique selling proposition. All you have is a trite platitude. If, on the other hand, you talk about a specific product or the ability to open up markets in Turkestan, then you have a unique strength. Third, identify target companies to approach with your unique selling proposition. To do this effectively, you have to know what is going on at these companies. You are certainly not doing this if you are sending out volumes of resumes to databases of companies about which you know very little. 20 targeted contacts will be more effective than 200 untargeted contacts. To do this, read trade journals, regional business papers, Crane's Business, the Wall Street Journal, Barron's, and so on. Although not thought of in this context, value line investment surveys are a good source of company information. And fourth, approach companies by not looking for a job. If you notice, I have not said anything about sending out a resume. If you are seeking a job, you're asking the company for something. But if you have properly identified your unique strengths and adequately research the companies, then you are offering something. If, for example, you open markets in Turkestan and you know a certain company seeks international expansion to Eastern Europe, then you have mutual interest. A letter to the CEO that describes what you have done and says, if you would like to know how I accomplished this, then let's meet informally for an exchange of information. Don't send a resume. So to reiterate, even at the worst of times, employment needs exist. Don't do what everyone else is doing. Identify your unique selling propositions, adequately research target companies, and approach them for an exchange of information, not a job. This is Stanley Herz.